Hey there, guys, and what is up? Real Diversity here, man. We are back with another video for Ahiru no Sora. Basically, we've done a couple of these already, so if you're returning, appreciate it. If you're new, what is up? We're just gonna be reviewing the most recent episode. Came out Wednesday. Now today is Thursday night as I'm recording this video, so I'm a little behind. I just watched it like an hour ago. Then I had to take a quiz. Now I'm making a video for that episode. So. Yeah, it should be still fresh on my mind, obviously, because I just watched it. But hopefully, I can pretty much. I try to do these videos as soon as I watch it, if I can. A lot of times I end up watching like anime in my free time and don't have the time to make a video right after. But this one is one of the rare times that I actually watched it and now I'm gonna make a video. So it should be everything should be fresh and I should be able to pretty much give you guys great in-depth details for this review. So first and foremost, since these videos have been doing decently, and I've done quite a few of them, I just have to really put an effort into making sure I know the names of the teams and the players. So at first I was kind of slacking just because I didn't know how well, much attention these videos would get. So it was just pretty much kind of a, yeah, I know just the main guys' names, but I went in depth and kind of even learned some of the other people outside of the main team names. So first and foremost, this episode really was continuing off the game. So they immediately jumped up in the lead, and they immediately at one point it was the score was 18-8. Kuza or Kuzu, I think is how you say it, which is the main team, the obviously the protagonist team, and then the other team, Senju, is the name of the team they're currently going against, and their captain, Katsumi, he is pretty much kind of carrying their team they're going against. So right now, it's just really tricky, and we're basically just really getting into it. So the first, okay, so basically we saw a little bit the last episode. I think they scored, Senju team scored, and then Kite scored immediately afterwards. And did you guys know Kite's name is Kenji, but if they always call him Kite, so I think I've really heard him call him Kenji, but I didn't even know his name was Kenji half the time. But anyways, his name's Kenji, but I'm as always call him Kite, and that's what they call him in the anime as well. So yes, basically, Kite scored back immediately, and that's how kind of the last episode ended. So this one just started, like I said, they immediately took the lead. So what that tells you initially there, this soon they took the lead 10 points, and you can tell too by just watching the episode that Kuzu they have the better team. So Sora's team is much better, skill wise, player wise, everything. They're just much better, and so it's teams like this that they go against that they're gonna lose for reasons they lose to. Well, they're not gonna lose this one, but the reasons they lose to teams like these is mainly because of their teamwork. This is why earlier on when they went against the girls, remember that when they went against the girls and they lost because their teamwork. They're not used to playing as a team, and even now, still they're still learning. I think they're much better now after going through that camp and things like that. But that's still going to be a big problem a little bit later on because they haven't been playing. Excuse me. They haven't been playing that long together. So after probably like 2 games or so, they should know each other really well. But just know that's still one of the big focal points that they have with each other is just still learning how each other plays and operates, things like that. Now another thing here, this episode, okay. So so far, everyone's had a struggle. Sora had a struggle his very first game with not really wanting to shoot in that left field. He just wasn't big on shooting on that side of the field. So that was his biggest problem. He got over that. But that was his early on. He had a heel to get over, a hump, a situation. Now that was his big situation. Another one, he actually had another one too, was in that second game, that second practice game. He missed a shot at the end, and he was kind of tripping about it a little bit after that. So he got over that though. So he just kind of had two minor hills. Obviously, as the main protagonist, he's probably gonna have the most obstacles to face. But just know that those were his two basically humps. So we may potentially not see him struggle again, but just know that was the problem he had. So then when it came to players like Kite, Kite had just a very minimal. His was maybe just trusting his team into passing. So he eventually started, passing the ball and things like that. He didn't really have any problems. Obviously, all around, he's probably the best player on the team. So pretty much his only struggle was just learning how to pass, and we discovered that, and he kind of got over that within that second game too. So keep that in mind. Now there are still guys who haven't had really a big time struggle, but we did even actually see Momoharu. He even had just a minor struggle too in the second game. Everyone had a pretty decent struggle in that second game, and his was that uh oh yeah, he was just getting out rebound. He just kind of got deflated and cause he was getting out rebounded. He just kind of was kind of down on himself because he felt like the other center was kind of better than him. So that was just kind of another thing right there with Momoharu. But he kind of got over that, and I think but that was just his small little hill in battle. And then Sora, we already talked about Sora Kite. And everyone else has just been kind of riding the wave. Even Mokichi, he didn't have. We haven't seen any problems from him, but we know his problems in the past with stamina, so that could still be play a big part now, um, or potentially may not. So we don't know that 100% yet. But Mokichi, his big problem was mainly stamina. So he may potentially not have a heal or anything like that when he gets in the game, but we'll find out soon enough in the next one. But so far, so this episode mainly focused on Chiaki and his problem. This episode. So Chiaki was the big kind of focal point of this episode, and we really see why. And it was all part of the captain of the other team's plan. What was his name? Uh, oh yeah, Kasumi. Kasumi on the Senju team. He was pretty much yeah, he was, he it was just kind of his plan from the start. He realized that Chiaki, or I'm gonna say Chucky. I think that's how they be saying it in the anime. Chucky, he pretty much is super. He's just a super guard. Like he's just like a Magic Johnson type player, just a super elite passer. And he just really good at seeing the court and things like that. He's just really good at playing point guard, being point guard, moving the ball and things like that, and just really smooth with the ball too. He can do crazy type passes, things like that. So it's just real nice to have him as a guard. Now the biggest thing with him is he is basically the floor general. So he really much commands the offense a lot of times and defense. So when he's not playing 100%, it really affects the entire team. Now it's people. Momo can have an off game. Sora can have an off game. Kite can be a little off and things like that, and they will still be okay. But when Chiaki, when he is struggling, it's a struggle. So it's a real struggle when he for the team because he moves the ball and he kind of leads them on defense. So it's a real struggle when he's struggling. So that's a big problem here, and that's what they're attacking now. Now, like I said, with a team like this, Kuzu's team is way better. They're way better than that Senju team. So they are, or is it Senji or Senju? I can't remember. Senji, I think. They're just way better than that team. So that's why they have to kind of pick at them, and kind of figure a way to win. And now their captain is smart. Like I said, captain he's real smart. So Kasumi, the captain of the Senju team, he pretty much is planning to shut down Chucky. So he basically was recognized that he's probably he knows he's leading their offense. He just knows he needs to stop him, and he pretty much can stop their whole game. And he knows he has a worse team. He knows their team is nowhere near as good as it's just playing, and they just players aren't nowhere near at the level. So we're finna see what Chucky's made out of. So for this episode, he got a little frustrated. I think he started turning the ball over, throwing just incomplete passes, and just doing stuff like that. But he's a guy. He's one of those guys we haven't seen struggle. So this is his little struggle heel. Like I said, he's one of those dudes that we just have not seen had any problem so far since we've seen him. He's just been really good all around. His only one problem hiccup was that when he was playing point guard, he couldn't score. So we knew that. We knew that, and that was about it. And later, even in this episode, we see him a little bit doing able to score and move the ball a little bit too. So I don't really see. I think he kind of moved a little past that. But yeah. Excuse me. So they're just pretty much attacking him, and this is his kind of feel. So we really gotta wait to the next episode to see how he handles it. But so far, he was really, really, really. He even Katsumi said this once, and he said geniuses are very fragile. So we know Chucky's a genius, and he was so ahead of his time in middle school that he really couldn't even play like once he got it took him to get to high school before he could actually fully utilize his potential so people could even keep up with his skill, keep up with his passing, things like that, because he throws the pass. He doesn't throw it at you, he throws it to where you should be at or where you need to be at, things like that. So he's one of those type of players. So he was so far ahead in middle school that it actually made him look bad that now he's actually able to utilize his full potential, and now he has a little hype behind him as well too. So it's nice to see that, and then as well as he's just an all around great scorer. Except if he could get a shot, he would be pretty much unstoppable. Because I think when he really puts his mind to it, he really goes for things like rebounds and all type of stuff, and he plays really great defense. So it's just one of those guys that is just straight up solid. And what's one thing, if you guys ever wonder what those three new guys are, the I forget their names. The guys that have only been playing for a little minute. The three guys on Sora's team that's been playing for a little minute. The whole reason they're even there is so that their team, when they initially before the tournament started, was so that their team looked bad, right? So their team looked bad. It looked like they could win. They look bad, right? So just go back to like the first game, right? Just before even Chucky even joined the team, right? Remember when they were practicing and went against that other team, and they had Sora and Momo were like the two best players on the team, and the other three guys were there. And just think back to that. That's what they want you like early on. They want you to think, man, these guys can't win. But if you look at their five best players now on Kuzu's team, they have literally. I don't think I've we so far we have not seen another team with five players as good as these guys. So it's almost, it would be almost impossible for them not to pretty much win, in my eyes. So yeah, really really so there was just a lot of plot in that early few games to make it look like their team isn't as good. And then once again, Mokichi hasn't even came in this game yet, right? We're look at the score was 8-18. Mokichi didn't even touch the ball yet. He was still on the bench the whole time. So imagine you throw in like a 7 footer in there, and and just it's ridiculous. What their team is really capable of against like an amateur team like they're going against now. Like I said, I was just gonna take for them to get back into the game is for Chiaki to either just get it together, or just Sora, maybe them two switch it up. But it's not gonna be a hard. It's not gonna be hard. It's gonna be a pretty easy fix. And um, yeah, I just really don't really know um if they're yeah. It's just it's not really a hard fix. It's just simply get your act together, or let someone else do the job, or just come out the game. One of the two, one of the three. So Katsumi, he really is kind of carrying that Senji team right now, man. He's the only good player basically. Besides one guy, I think that was shooting shots and making them or whatever. They Kite said this guy probably can shoot threes. I wonder. Or he said we shouldn't let him shoot threes. I can't remember his exact wording. It was some. He said he had missed the mid range. We probably shouldn't let him shoot threes. I think is what he said. And that was for another guy on their team. But yeah, so and we haven't really even seen Katsumi just even take over yet. We know he has skill. We know he has He's basically like a taller Kite, but not probably as explosive as Kite. But basically, and maybe can't even shoot like Kite. But I think that's what that Kasumi guy is like. So he's really trying to lead his team here to victory. He knows exactly what to do to stop them. He knows his team is way worse. So he's just kind of going for any little advantage he can get here. So we're gonna really see in the next episode how they kind of counter this. Nate Nayo really didn't want to call timeout. I guess you wanted to see if it worked itself out. So next episode, right? We're no, it's gonna lead. It's gonna start off at the timeout, and we're gonna know, or we're gonna start off at the end of the first quarter. Just first quarter just ended. It's gonna go to the second quarter, right? So the next episode will start at the beginning of the second quarter. So basically, we should see whatever adjustments they make. Mokichi may come in soon too, or he may not even need to come in this game. If you ask me, I mean, I wouldn't want to let everyone scout my team out, but I don't see, it right now is it's a learning game. This game right now doesn't mean much to them. They're going against a worse team, but it's a big learning curve right here. It's a good starting team to learn what your team is missing and things like that. So, really good that I guess they're going against a team they don't have to worry too much about. So yeah. Let me see what else happened here. Yeah, we just like I said, no one really else Sora, no one else really did too much that episode. Except we saw Kite do a little some when Chucky was throwing those off passes. But as far as that, oh, and Momo had went for the tip in. But other than that, I don't really think there was anything significant anyone else did or Oh, Mokichi was very interesting here. That Mokichi was we okay. He's maybe one of the more experienced players. We know he played all throughout middle school, right? Or as they call it, junior high. I think maybe, or they call it something else. But we in America call it middle school. So throughout that whole thing, we noticed him pretty much commentating on the game, and he seemed to really recognize a lot of the things. So it was really interesting to see him kind of talking to Nail like, yeah, I can already see where this is finna go. So it was really interesting there to see that, and he just kind of recognized a lot of the plays and things like that going on. So that was interesting to see that. I want to see how when he gets in the game, if he will be able to maybe be a floor general of a sense or anything like that. So that's interesting to see that too once he comes in. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this plays out really next episode. But like I said here, the biggest thing I guess I'll summarize for this episode was that they pretty much are focused on Chucky and shutting him down. They shut down Kite as well by only focus on Kite. Like, don't even look at these passes coming. We're forcing you to go one side of the field. It's elaborate, but it's gonna fall apart pretty easily soon. It's just all up to Chucky here. So it's just it's his game pretty much. And once they get their flow going, I mean, that's one of these teams that they could probably blow out by like 50 points if they really, really were in optimal condition. And just probably by the end of the season, if they go back and play this game, they would probably better blow the team out by 70. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a comment. I do enjoy those comments. Leave a thumbs up if you read. Please, if you really enjoyed it. And also, you guys can go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Because like I said, we're always doing videos of animes that we are keeping up with. So hope you guys enjoy. It's other animes we are doing as well. So go check those out as well. We're Diverse. We are out. Peace.